students, welcome back again. Uh, in today's lecture, we are going to learn canny age detection algorithm. In previous lectures, we have already learned few of the age detection algorithms like using Laplacian uh, operator, using Laplacian of Gaussian operator. So this is the new algorithm which is used for age detection. This algorithm, if you compare with the previous one, is very complex algorithm, but also uh, it is going to be a superior in age detections and most widely used age detection algorithm. So let's see what this algorithm is. So when Canny designed this algorithm, there are mainly three objectives in his mind behind designing this algorithm. The first is uh, it should give the low error rate. Means what? All the edges should be found. All the edges present in the image should be found. No edge should be missed, and without any spurious response. Now that means um, no a false edge should not be detected. And the second here is edge point should be well localized. Now what does it mean? Edge point should be well localized. The edges located must be as close as possible to the true edges. That means distance wise, the distance between the true edge and the edge which has been located because using this canny edge detector algorithm, the distance should be as minimum as possible, so that we will get the exact position of the edge. And third is the most important, which is nothing but single edge point response. That means what? The detector should return only one point for each true edge point. That means you have only one edge point, actual edge point is 1, then the algorithm also should give that only one edge point, and it should not identify multiple edge pixels where only one edge pixel is found. That means what? The number of maxima around the edges should be minimum. So whenever we know that whenever the edge will be found, the value of the image at that edge point is going to be maximum. Okay, and if there are few edge points which are more extra edge points which will be detected around that maximum point, so we wanted to avoid that. If there is only one edge point, only that edge point should be detected, and all the other points around that edge, actual edge point, should be removed, and that means the number of maxima around that true edge should be minimum. So how do we get, or how do we implement all these objectives in one algorithm? For this, the Canny suggested that we can use the first derivative of the Gaussian. Now we have already seen the Gaussian function or Gaussian low pass filter function, which we have used to smooth out the image. So we start with that. So let's start with the first step. The first step is to smooth the image using the Gaussian function. So here we are going to use a two-dimensional circular Gaussian function which is going to be smoothing the image. Now smoothing the image means what? Whatever noise points or noise is present in the image, all the noise will be removed. Now how we will perform this? For this, what we are going to do is simple thing, that is you are going to convolve the g of xy, which is nothing but a two-dimensional Gaussian function, with your image function. So here we are going to perform this convolution where g of xy is, this is the second two-dimensional Gaussian function that we are going to use, and after performing this particular convolution, it results into an image which is nothing but a smooth image represented by fs of xy. Now this can be done using a simple Gaussian n by n mask also. This convolution can be performed. So if you take a n by n Gaussian mask and you apply it on the image f of xy, that gives you same result as convolution of g of xy with f of xy. So here if I'm taking the example, sorry. This is my actual edge direction, which is vertical. The edge will be present in vertical in the image, but when I calculate the gradient direction or gradient angle or edge normal, I will get either this angle or this angle. That means I will get in horizontal direction. Both ways it is possible. And similarly for the rest of the two directions, in 45 degrees and in plus 45 and in minus 45. So if my direction, actual edge direction is plus 45, I will get the edge normal in either of this direction, and if it is minus 45 like this, the actual edge is present in minus 45 direction, I will get the edge normals or gradient direction in plus 45 in any of the direction. So first I have to fix four directions. That means my edge will be present either horizontally, vertically at plus 45 degrees and for minus 45 degrees. So all the 8 possible edge direction, edge normal directions, edge normal can be present in 8 directions, right? Here we got two here we got two edge normal directions for horizontal edge. Here we got two edge normal directions for vertical edge. Here also we got these two, and here also we got these two. So total we get 8 directions for the edge normal. So this total edge direction will reduce to 4 direction, because the edge can have only 4 direction, for which we are using this particular uh, uh, range of direction. So we have to specify in which range of direction I will assign which direction. So if my angle alpha xy, uh, it is given in this direction in this diagram. So if my alpha xy is between this angle plus minus 157.5 and plus 157.5, or the alpha is present, the value of alpha is between minus 22.5 and plus 22.5. So this region, in this region if my alpha lies, then this represents the horizontal edge. Similarly, if it is present, if the alpha is present in this region, the gray, it will represent a plus 45 degrees edge. This is the actual edge direction, okay? And these are the values of alphas for edge normals. Remember always this point. Similarly, if this is present between, the alpha is between minus 112.5 and minus 67.5, on this side plus 112.5 and plus 67.5, then it will represent the sorry yeah, so it will represent the vertical edge, and similarly for this one it will represent the minus 45 degrees edge. So you have to remember, first in the previous step where we have calculated the gradient operator, we have already calculated the value of alpha. Now just looking at that value of alpha, we have to put in any of this region, we have to find out, and then this will give me the direction. So total we are going to assign 4 directions. If the alpha is present between this region, that is minus white region, which represents horizontal edge, this is named as direction D1. If this is alpha is present between this particular range, this given either this region or this region, the opposite of this, the direction is given D2. If the alpha is present uh, representing vertical edge, the direction is assigned as D3, and if alpha is representing plus 45 edge, the direction assigned is D4. So total 4 directions we are assigning here. So let's see now, after assigning these directions, what we are going to do. So here actually we are going to apply this non-maxima separation. Okay, so what is the algorithm, or what are these points are saying? The first point is find the direction dk that is closest to alpha. Okay, so we just explained that there will be 4 directions, d1, d2, d3, d4, which you can assign based on the value of alpha, the regions also we have specified. So once you know the direction, now we are going to suppress the non-maxima points only in that direction. So what we are going to do now, we are going to see the mxy, the magnitude image that we have got from the gradient. And if this magnitude value mxy for any point xy in the image, if the magnitude value is m, so this magnitude value will be compared with its neighbor. We know that if there is a point, there can be, if I take a 3 by 3 mass, there can be 9, there can be total, sorry, 8 neighboring pixels. So out of each 8, I am going to compare mxy only with 2 neighbors, and in which direction I am going to check? The direction is given by the dk. Okay, so if in case my edge is horizontal, my edge uh, normal is going to be perpendicular to it. So just now we have seen, so if I am having the horizontal edge, if my edge is horizontal like this, I will have either edge normal in this direction or edge normal in this direction. So this value mxy, which will be present here at the center, will be compared with 2 pixels. Now which 2 pixels? In edge normal direction. That means it will be compared, this particular pixel will be compared with this pixel and this pixel. So in the previous example, in the previous slide that we have seen, it will be compared with, if this is the P5 pixel, it will be compared with pixel 2 and pixel 8. Similarly, if I am having a vertical direction, suppose my edge is in vertical direction like this, my edge normal will be in these two directions, right? So if this is my P5, which represents the value mxy, then this will be compared with this particular pixel, that is nothing but P4 and P6. This is P6. So P5 will be compared with 4 and 6. Okay, so now after comparison, what we have to do? If this value of mxy is less than at least one of the two neighbors. So if it is less than one of these two neighbors, then what? If the value mxy is less than one of the two neighbors, that means what? Mxy is not the maximum value, and that means mxy doesn't represent any edge point. So if it doesn't represent any edge point, we have to suppress that, and that's why the value gn, I am going to create a new image gnxy, that is the non-maxima suppressed image, where the value of mxy will be made 0 if it is a non-maxima point. Now if mxy is not less than one of its two neighbors, means what? Mxy will be having higher value. If I am comparing this P5 with 2 and 5, okay, and if I find value 5 as maximum, that means what? With respect to these two neighbors, value of P5 is maximum, that means this represents the edge point. So in that case, I have to just keep this edge point, because this is a true edge point. So gn, in this case, gnxy is kept as mxy, its original value. And if it is not, then this value will be assigned, or this pixel will be assigned 0 value. So after assigning this, we will result into a new image that is called as gnxy. So after applying this non-maxima, what do we get? We get a new image gnxy, where all the non-maxima points will be suppressed and will be given value 0, and only the maximum points will be present, which represent edges. So is our work done? Have we got the edge points? Once we get the actual edge point, our work is done. But still our work is not done, because the received image, this is the reason, the received image may still contain some false edge points. So after performing non-maxima suppression also, there is a possibility that the image may contain the false edge points. So we have to remove all the false edge points, and we have to only keep the true and the strong edge points present in the image. Then only I will get the exact edge in the image. So we are going for the fourth step, that is called as thresholding. We are going to apply thresholding here to find out which are the false edge points in the image that we have created, that is G and XY, and we are going to reduce them using something called as hysteresis thresholding. Okay, so we already know what is thresholding. In thresholding, what we do, we assign, or we first decide one threshold value of pixels, and whatever pixels are above that threshold, we assign it a value 1, and all the pixels below we assign value 0. So we get only image with 0 and 1 after thresholding, which is nothing but the binary image, which can actually tell me the presence of edge. So wherever now after thresholding, wherever in image I get 1, that means that 1 represents the edge and the 0 represents the rest of the background. So this is as simple as that. So if I only take low threshold, why hysteresis threshold is taken, the double threshold is taken. So if I take only the low threshold value, what will happen? The false positive pulse also will come into picture. Okay, and if I take higher threshold, what will happen? Only the false negative edges will appear. What does it mean? Suppose in my image I am having many values, and if I wanted to keep if I set a threshold called as let's say value 30. Okay, so there may be some pixel values. If I set a threshold value that is 30, so whatever pixels above 30 value will be taken into consideration, or will be made 1, and all the pixels below 30 will be made 0, and this is a low threshold value. 30 is a low threshold value. Now if I consider a threshold let's say 100. Okay, so all the pixels above 100 will be set 1, and all the pixels below 100 will be set 0. Okay, so in both these cases, in the first case when we keep the threshold 30, there may be false points, false edge points which may come into picture. Suppose my age is represented by what, a pixel value 90, and if I am assigning a low threshold that is 30, there may be some false pixel points or edge points that may come into picture. And if I set a higher threshold as 100 and my actual age is represented by 90, that means what, most of the edge points I will not get most of the edge points. So this should not happen. So we assign through threshold values TL and TH. Okay, so TL represents the low threshold, TH represents the high threshold value, and then we take a ratio of it, that is either it will be either 1:3 or it will be at least 2:3. Okay, now using these two thresholds, we are going to generate two thresholded images. So first thresholded images will be GNHXY, where we apply a higher threshold, and the second is GNLXY, which represents the which is used found using low threshold. From where? From this image GNXY that we have got in the previous step. Okay. For example, if the ratio is 1:3, what I can do is I can apply a low threshold is 30, and if I take the higher threshold as 90, so this gives me a ratio of 1:3. So if I am having any image where there are many pixel values, the low threshold that I will be assigning is 30, and the high threshold that I will be assigning is 90. So just imagine now I am thresholding the same image GNXY with two different thresholds. So which image will have more number of pixels, GNLXY or GNHXY? Obviously, the image GNLXY will have more points in the image, ones in the image than the GNHXY, because this is the lower threshold. So all the values present in GNHXY will be there in GNLXY, but there will be few more points present in this low thresholded images, isn't it? But whatever these points which are present in GNHXY, they are the strong edge points. That means what? They are the true edge points. These points are going to lie on my edge. So all these points in GNL XY will directly, I can consider them as my actual age points. But in this, there may be few age points that are missing, and if the few age points are missing, that means what? The age will be broken there. So we have to fill those gaps of the age. So we have to find out those true age points from this GNL XY. So what we do is, we find out few points from this GNL XY, and we are going to add them in this GNH XY, which will complete my, or I'll get a complete age pixels. Okay, so how do we do that? Now one thing is clear, that my GNH XY, the image after applying higher threshold, whatever pixels or whatever ones are there in this image, they are my strong age pixels, are the true age pixels that I have to consider. And then after that, from GNLXY, I have to find out few pixels which will be my age pixels. Okay, so and the rest will not be the age points that we have to remove. So we are using this algorithm for it. So what we are going to do is, we are going to, here, for each age pixel in GNHXY, just now we have discussed GNHXY represents strong or actual age points. So for every one, obviously after threshold I will get what? Zeros and ones in GNHXY. For every pixel present in GNHXY, that is P, I am going to find, we are going to find pixels in GNLXY, so that they are connected to the pixel P in GNHXY by some connectivity. Like we have seen 4 connectivity, 8 connectivity in the beginning of the lectures, in the few previous lectures. So applying that connectivity, we are going to find out some pixels in GNLXY which are connected by some means to pixel P in GNHXY. And if that pixels are connected, that means there is a connectivity present. That means those pixels in GNLXY will be the age pixels, and those which are not connected, those are not the age pixels. It is as simple as that. So what we are going to do, for every pixel in P, we have to calculate this. For every pixel in P, we are going to consider the now even if these two images are different, that is GNHXY and GNLXY, but the coordinates are same, XY. If I take XY 10 10, so I will be calculating it for GNX 10 10, that is a pixel P, and for this pixel P, I am going to see the points around this GNL 10 10. So whatever points are around GNL 10 10, this GNL 10 10 is also, and GNH 10 10 will also be 1 1, because this is a true age point. If it is a true age point, this will be present in this image also, it will be present in this image also. So all these points which will be connected to this point P by either 8 connectivity or 4 connectivity will be kept, and the rest of the points will be made 0. So this is what we are going to do here. It is set all the non-marked pixels which are not the edge points to 0. So after applying this algorithm, what we are doing is, we are modifying this GNLXY only. So after this algorithm, we will get a new modified GNLXY which is going to contain only those points which are somehow connected to the pixels in GNHXY, the higher threshold, and the rest of the points will be made 0. And finally, all these pixels which are considered or which are found as age pixels from this lower threshold image will be added to this higher threshold image. So higher threshold image has already contained the age pixels, and now from GNLXY we found out few pixels which are connected to the age pixels and which are the age points. So finally adding these two by appending all the non-zero values in GNLXY into GNHXY will give me the final age points. So all the edge points will be covered here, and we will get the actual edge, a thinned and the actual edge in the image. So this is how the Canny has undergone this algorithm, considering all these three objectives that we have seen in the beginning. Okay, thank you.